Ecclesiastes 5:2 says, "Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before God. For God is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore let thy words be few." Why? Well, we could look at the context, but we're not going to right now. But basically, the idea is careful what you say. Because as Jesus said, "For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned." So the reason I chose these verses, to be honest with you, let thy words be few, the reason I chose that was because we're going to talk about Twitter today, and you can't use a lot of words for one post on Twitter. It's like, what, 160 characters or 140? We'll find out here in just a minute. I'm going to jump on there. And social media here, Twitter. And we're just going to go to my Twitter page here. So I don't know why that's in Russian, I think is what it looks like. But yeah, that's my Twitter picture. That's like 3 years ago or more. I don't know why that's in. It looks like Russian, I think, but yeah, it is. Translate from Russian. Hey, check that out. Let's do that. Yeah, it probably says, "I started a live stream on YouTube." Hey, look at that. No, it says, "I ran live on YouTube." That's weird. They say it different in Russian, I guess. Okay, so this is my Twitter page. I have 2,318 tweets. A lot of them are automatic. I don't do a whole lot of like getting on Twitter and tweeting personally. I don't use Twitter a whole lot, but if you go through my Twitter page, you'll find that there's a whole lot of posts. Part of that is because I have it automatically set up that when I do a live stream, it posts immediately. So it's so like as you can see, that's what happens. And then it does these Facebook posts here. Whenever I post something on Facebook that is public, or if I post it on my public page, it'll automatically post on Twitter also. So that's the way I use Twitter. Actually, this was this morning, or no, this was last night. Oh, this was Melissa posting on the church Facebook page, and it automatically posted on my Twitter account, I guess. She says, "Friendly reminder for tomorrow's fellowship after the AM service." See, I didn't even see this, and I posted it on my page. So we're bringing brownies and soup and cornbread. Cornbread. What's that? Oh yeah, oh yeah. You dip the brownies in the soup. We brought some cornbread too. All right, so you got to say it that way. Cornbread. That's right. Right? Isn't that the right way to say it? That's the right way to say it. Especially when it's soup and cornbread, right? Actually, we have chili too, so you put chili with it. But we didn't have. Actually, she may have found some beans, but I couldn't find any beans, so I think we made beanless soup. So, or beanless chili, I mean, and potato soup. What's that? We have no idea. I know what we made last night for dinner, and that was distraction there. So okay, so yeah, I made dinner last night. It was pretty cool. It was like an Indian style chicken and rice. And that was fun. We had the younger Kaisers over for dinner. So anyways, okay. So here's Twitter. A lot of little things to learn about Twitter. There's a lot of things I need to learn about Twitter. So you have your profile picture. This is your, what do they call that up there? Banner, cover photo, whatever up here. You have that profile picture, your name, and then this is your Twitter handle, I think is what they call it, right? The @ and then the name. Mine is Pistos Marturas, which is Greek for faithful witness or faithful martyr. That's me. That's me. It was probably, that was been 5 years ago now. That's me. And then you have your bio, and what I put for the bio is, may the lamb that was slain receive the reward of his suffering. Then you can have your location. I just put Indiana, so it's just kind of general location. You guys can't see that, can you? There you go. And then your website, fountain-square-baptist.com, and then it attaches to the Vine thing. By the time we get to Vine, it probably won't exist anymore because they're actually going out, they're disappearing. So now you can have your Vine on YouTube. So I think what's going to happen is they're going to have the ability to do like Vine videos, and then it just shows up on YouTube instead of people going to the Vine app. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work, but that's, anyways, that's the thought process, I guess. I joined March of 2009, and I was born April 3rd of 83, which it should just say the day, not the year. But anyways, might be because I'm looking at it instead of, I don't know. I don't think I make that public. So your tweets, what you say on Twitter, and by the way, my tweets okay, so Twitter is the name of the social media site, okay? A tweet is when you post something on Twitter. They call that a tweet, okay? So if I were going to post something on Twitter, I would just go to the main Twitter, or I would just go up here where it says tweet, and then I can type in my tweet. It's 140 characters, right? So what's that, blank space? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Every single character counts. So like if you type something and you put, so if you're typing stuff, like when you get to the end of a sentence, instead of 2 spaces, just do 1 space, because you can use that other piece or that character for something else somewhere. But so when you post on Twitter, or you post a tweet, a lot of times what people will do is they'll post pictures, or they'll post a GIF or GIF or whatever. This is like a motion picture, or a website or a location, and they'll you can post emoticons. You got emoticons here, or emojis. So what I've used Twitter for mainly is an attention getter. I've got 872 followers on Twitter. One of them is Mike Pence, like his personal account. He follows me, I guess, on his personal account, but he doesn't follow me on his VP account. I don't know why, but anyways, so, and I'm just following 88. I don't follow that many. I was following a bunch, but I was kind of like, yeah, I don't really use this a lot. I'm gonna just kind of like cut down to just the people that I really care about what they say, for the most part. So, so I cut it down a bit, below 100 anyways. So what a lot of people use Twitter for is like what I use Twitter for. Notice we have a little bit of text and then a link. A little bit of text and a link. A little bit of text and a link. So a lot of people use it like that because what they're doing is they're using Twitter, the people that follow them on Twitter, and sometimes they'll say stuff. Now, I've got a lot of people that let me see if I can go to home here and see if we can see some things that people posted. So, like this is Brother Ted's wife here. She said 17 hours ago, across the Great Mississippi in Mississippi today. Pretty cool thing to do. Short little things. People say stuff like that. Dave Ramsey said, nothing will make you broke faster than trying to impress others. Stop acting rich when you aren't. Neat little quotes. So some people will do those kind of things. I do that on Facebook, and then it'll show up on Twitter. That's kind of the way I'll do it. So I don't do a whole lot of those little quote things. I probably should do more, but I'm more of a talker than a typer for the most part. In fact, most of the time when I'm typing, I'm talking anyways. Even when you send me a text message and you see some funny garbled thing come back, it's probably because I answered you on my watch by talking to it. And so sometimes it's correct, sometimes it's not. It'll say all kinds of stuff. But I don't like this about Twitter. The one thing that they started doing recently is, in case you missed it, So like if I haven't been on for a few days or whatever, it'll take the highlights of what I might have missed and throw them on there, you know, basically to let me view them, you know. And I'm like, well, I mean, what I used to like is when I could just go on there and just see, you know, what's most recent, and then I can go down the line to catch up to where I was before. Now I don't get on there that often, so there's the Ark Encounter. They post stuff once in a while, but and then when you're on here on the computer side, anyways, it'll say, "Oh, you got a new one." Okay, I just click that and it'll pop up the new one. That was 48 seconds ago. The Ark Encounter posted that photo, asking, "What are you most looking forward to seeing when you visit the Ark Encounter?" So that's some examples of some tweets there. There's President Trump, 14 hours ago. Executive order, ethics commitments by executive branch appointees. Da, 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 da. Okay, so there's Brother Greg Locke posting some things, and there we go. Apparently, God has a Gmail account. Oh my! Somebody sent him an email from God, I guess, because he messaged me. I thought he'd spell better though. So, anyways, so there's Twitter, just a real basic. You know, here's what it is. It'll give you suggestions of who to follow over here. These are people based on other people that you follow or whatever. So I follow some political people, so I think they think since I'm following Donald Trump that I should follow his wife. Oh, anyways, but then over here it has trending things. So here's something social media wide for the most part is hashtags. Hashtags can be very useful, but they can also be very dangerous. I found on Instagram, hashtags can be very dangerous. I mean, I don't care what the hashtag is. You're going to find something crazy if you tap on it. So I just don't tap on them. So like if you have like, if I just posted something and put a hashtag love or something, you know, and you tap on that hashtag, it's going to show you all the posts that also have the hashtag love. And sometimes you find stuff that you're not looking for, that you shouldn't be looking at. Hashtag is this. See these next to these little words here? Pound sign. So whenever you're posting on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, you can put pound and then type a word. A lot of times people do like hashtag and then like a whole long string of, you know, things. So I'm gonna leave Twitter for a second, and I'm gonna show you an example of that. If I can. Yeah, exactly. Right, but you can't put a space in between any of the words. So what they do is they'll capitalize the first letter of each word, or you could do an underscore maybe, yeah. See if I can log into Instagram from here. I don't know if I have ever done that. I'll log in as me. I mean, that's my personal account, and then I have a public account. So, for example, here's a pastor that didn't hashtag anything. Let's see here. There's Courtney. He hashtags stuff. So like, no days off. You can click on that and see other posts that other people have made with that same hashtag, if you care to do that. Again, you can be surprised in a bad way. So that's why I don't usually click on hashtags, just because I don't want to look at stuff that I wasn't planning on looking at. So anyways, there you go. So we'll look at Instagram at another time, but wanted to show you the hashtag thing. The other thing is that I think a lot of the social media sites got from Twitter was the hashtag, and maybe Instagram had hashtag before. I don't know, but it seems like Twitter had it before everybody else, and then they started picking up on it. And then the other thing is the @ symbol. So if you notice, there's a little @ symbol here. It says @ Ark Encounter. Okay, and then mine is @ Justos Marturas. And so, you know, I know it's kind of a weird name, but Row ABC was already taken, so I went with that. And then I've got multiple Twitter accounts too, but I don't know if I can log into any of them. I've got my personal account, and then I've got the pastor account, and then we have a church Twitter account, I think, which I never post on, and then we have a Foundations Ministries Twitter account, which I don't think I've ever posted on either. So we just have them for the sake of having them, so that later on when we decide to do all that, we can. But so what I have found Twitter most useful for is basically short statements with a link to take you to where you continue that statement. So a lot of times if somebody has a blog, they'll use Twitter as a traffic driver, basically. So like you'll write a blog post, and then you get done with your blog post, and then you want to get people to go read it, and so you'll say highlight a certain part or multiple parts of your blog. Like say you want to point out a certain particular point that you think will get people's attention, so that they'll want to read the rest of the blog post. So you can quote yourself and then have a link, and that takes them to your blog or your Facebook page. Or like for the Facebook thing, when I have it set to auto, it'll automatically post the first few. And so sometimes that really works well. So like, for example, so like you might see that she typed that out there, and the whole post is there. So if it's short, the whole thing will go there. If you type something kind of long, I'm looking to see if I've got something a little longer. I wonder why those popped up. Okay, so I said sorry for being absent on my short videos. See, that was a short one, so it's all there. Oh, okay, so this was a personal post, but it should have been just friends only, so it shouldn't have gone on here, but it was public by accident. It says, an overflowing dishwasher can be a pain and a blessing. We've been working on this since Friday, not much further, ... And you're like, well, what's he going to say there? And then you click on the thing, and it'll open up Facebook, and it'll say not much further to go. Just need to do a little more caulk work, painting, and some transition strips. And so it shows the nasty pictures of the floor, and then that's with it being sealed, and there's the new flooring down, and the wainscoting, and some of the the new floor. You like that? Yeah, see, that's the old floor. Water damaged that pretty good. Yeah, look at that. Nice. And we tore up the yucky stuff, put good stuff down, sealed it with a sealer, and then there's that new floor. I have another picture somewhere else that you could see, but you can't really see it very well on that. But it's a wood grain look. It's a vinyl floor with wood look, and it actually it's a little bit lighter than walnut, but probably more like a maple, I'd say, like a medium maple, basically. It's not a light, but not a dark, but it looks like a barn floor, and it feels like, when you put your hand on it, it's got it feels like it's really cool. It feels like wood, but it's actually vinyl. It's only like this thick, but it's the thicker vinyl that's got called soft step. Anyways, you see how that drew our attention? What's this? Clickbait. That's exactly what it is. That's the idea. Now, I could be better at that. I could be better at that. I could be like, like they do on the what is it, the ads, or the the news things, they have the quick clickbait, and it says, "You will not believe what happened next," and then it shows a picture, and they're like, and then you're like, what happened next? You click on it, and it's some stupid article about nothing important, and you're like, why did I click on that? It's like, oh, because it got my attention. And then this, I posted this January 15th when Tana called on the Lord, said, "Praise the Lord for precious soul that has come to heartfelt conviction and turned to Christ for salvation." That is kind of a complete thought, but if you click on it, you got a lot of like notifications here. Yikes. So it's not that long, but it, for salvation tonight. Congratulations, Hannah Jenkins. Welcome to the family of God. We are here to help you grow and look forward to seeing God complete the work that He has begun. Hallelujah. So, amen. So we, I think I added you as a friend for some other account maybe. So I don't know if you have two accounts or not, but I saw your name popped up as suggested friend, and I clicked on it, and I was like, I thought we were already friends. And so I added you again, but as you can see, I got a lot of activity going on Facebook lately. Yeah, people do that. So this one here, so this, I don't know what this is. It's some Facebook post that I posted. I guess if I click on it, I'd find out, right? Sorry, this page is not available. Must be one I deleted or something. Not my own stuff. Somebody else's, you can, depending on what people post. So that's another thing, another reason why you only want to follow people that you either know or it's legitimate. So like my account was rejected for verification. I guess they don't think I'm important enough to have a verified account. But if you go to like say, okay, I open this, go back to the home page, Dave Ramsey, notice there's a little seal here with a check mark in it. That means that it's actually his account. It's not some person acting like him. So, and Vimeo's probably got the same thing because Vimeo's and that's, I don't follow Vimeo. That's, sometimes they have ads that they'll throw in there. Vimeo. You don't pronounce the E? Right, like Melania Trump there, she's got hers is verified account. So anyways, so that's a cool picture there. California. So anyways, if you're following like public figures, having a verified account is like, that's the way that you know that when they post a link that it should be okay to click on. Depending on who you're following, of course. If you're following, somebody that's like a pop culture public account kind of thing, which I don't recommend. Most pop culture's evil anyways. I wouldn't say that all is, but for the most part, generally speaking, most are. Anyways, if you're following, like, say, some rap star or something, I wouldn't click on anything. I wouldn't follow them, first of all, but I wouldn't click on anything that they post because you never know what you're getting. So, right. That's Dave Ramsey. Sometimes his stuff comes up on Facebook, like, as an ad. And so, like it said, it'll say sponsored. And so, that just happens. People do that. Or sometimes people steal pictures and post them themselves. Right? So I'm going to show you how to follow people. This is Eric Holcomb right here, his verified Twitter account. I thought I was already following him, but I must be following his governor account, and this is his personal account. So you just click follow. It's that easy. And then it tells you, hey, you might want to follow this guy and this guy and this guy. I'm not necessarily looking to do all that, but this This guy here is actually, I think isn't that the press secretary? Yeah, press secretary for the White House. Might be one to follow. So that easy. Hey, Israeli Defense Force spokesperson. This thing, it's a pretty like difficult system. It's pretty. I mean, they are pretty particular on who and how they verify everything. So yes, and people do, but they can't get a verified account unless they actually provide identification proving that they are who they say they are. So you have to send them a picture of your license or whatever, and that's how they do that. So, and then they sometimes won't even verify accounts just because they're like, you don't have enough followers. I think when I get over 1,000 followers, they'll maybe let me get verified. I don't know, but it's stayed around the high 800s for 3 or 4 years. It's been because I lose followers every week and I gain followers every week. So you never know. And I'm not really trying to gain on Twitter. You can gain followers just by following people. Except the people I followed generally don't follow you back, like the press secretary. He's not going to follow me back. I don't think, anyways. Some people do, though. I've had some follow me back that I'm like Mike Pence. I was like, I didn't even realize he followed me back until I was on his personal page, and I was like, why is he following me? So like, you follow each other, it says. Wow, he's got a few more followers since the last time I looked. But this is his personal account. He's got a VP account too. He's got more followers on that one. He's only following 4 there. This one he's following. Hey, he's added a few followers because the other day when I just went on during the inauguration and checked just to make sure I'm following the right account and stuff, and I went on there and it said he follows me, and I was like, he does? He had 1,100 followers, then now he's got 1,202, so he's followed 100 more people, probably. Well, for his personal account, I don't think so, but for his VP account, I'm sure there's. But and a lot of times what he's doing on his personal account is just copying stuff from his VP account. See how it's an auto retweet? That's the other thing about Twitter is like, okay, so for example, there might be something, let's see, hey, why not? Vice President Pence says, President of the United States and I stand with the March for Life. Be assured, we will not rest until we restore a culture of life for ourselves and our posterity. So say I like that, okay? So I can click here for retweet. Well, okay, say I like it. I can click here for like. 15,000 people have liked that post. Or say I like it and I want everybody else to see that I like it. So of course they can see my likes, but they can see that I like it and read it. Like it shows up in my Twitter feed and it'll show up in their, shows up in, now I got to remember what the terminology is that they use. It's really coming down out there now. So on Facebook, you have a timeline, which is your page, and then you have your feed, your news feed. So on Twitter, I don't know what they call it. I think it's your Twitter page, and then your news feed probably, I think is what it is. So if I retweet, it'll show up on my page, and it'll show up on the news feed for everybody that's following me, if that makes sense. So I can do that, or I can reply. And so it'll show up as a reply here. So like there's 1.2 thousand replies, so I can click on that, which that goes to the reply. Actually, if I click on that post, it'll open that post and it'll show you all the replies. And then you click show more and it'll show you all of those. So, or I can reply directly to him just in general, or I can close that, and then I can hit reply to that specific, whoops, that's not the one I was meaning to reply to. Or I could reply to that specific one. And what it does is it will automatically reply to VP, Mike Pence, President of the United States, March for Life. So everybody that's tagged in this post, it'll reply to them. So what happens when that takes place is it shows up in the reply feed for this. And if there's not a ton of replies, it'll show up on their page. But since there's like, you know, like 1,200 replies, it's not going to show up. It'll just be in the reply feed. So anyways, sometimes people do that, and I'll show you what happens when somebody replies to something, or they there's a bunch of posts there. Or if somebody tags you in a post, the way they tag you in a post on Twitter is they actually put the @ symbol and then your Twitter handle. And so if somebody tags me, I get a notification. Trying to see where the notifications are. Up there. There it is. So notifications. And then, of course, every time one of my contacts gets on Twitter, it says your contact so-and-so, your contact so-and-so is on Twitter. I don't always follow all my contacts. If I'm not following you on Twitter, don't be offended. So like this person liked my tweet on my way to the State House, Pray for Leaders. This person retweeted my tweet, same person. I think Praying for Indiana is, yeah, the public service. That's Brother Matt Barnes' ministry page, Twitter page. Yeah, I'm not following that either. Probably should. Yeah. See, and then it gives you, what about this guy? I thought I was following both of those, but now I am. Okay, so like there's that, and then you have other people like your tweets, or these people started following me. This person's now on Twitter. I'm trying to find one. Here we go. I don't know who this is, but they said my name and then said hacked, and then something here, and then something about Hillary down or whatever it was. I don't know who that is, but I guess they, oh, what they did was there was a Twitter post that somebody posted here. I don't know what it's about. Something about the Bradley Foundation being hacked. That's yours? No? Then it says full backup from local network and server. And then I guess this anti-global, whoever that is, wanted me to know about it. So what they did was they reposted it and they tagged me so that I could know about it. It's Pistos Marturas. It's Pistos Marturas. So there's an example of somebody tagging me in a post. Retweets, they show the retweets. What's that? Yeah, is he on there? Yeah, he's on. Oh, he followed me. So the Baptist Historical Society here, the society Brother Ted runs, they retweeted my post or my tweet, and I just posted something about the tours on Facebook, and they retweeted it. Then here's I don't know what that is, what that's about. Oh, when Melissa's mom passed away. This is Brian Reese. I don't know if you guys remember Brian Reese, missionary to Thailand. He just tweeted. So I can say like, okay, Brother Oscar's on there, and he's like at OJRB or OJR Barrett is his Twitter name. We'll say we just made one up. It doesn't really exist. And so I'll say on my Twitter post, I'll just say at OJR Barrett, which when you start typing it, or even if you start typing someone's name, then it'll automatically give a suggestion for, you know, the Twitter handle to post if you're following them or if they're following you. So I'll select his Twitter handle, and then I'll say, you know, hey brother, praying for you today, or whatever, you know, or maybe, so like what they said, praying for you guys is pretty unsetting. Praying for wisdom for you, and or as you comfort and lead your family. So that's that. Or no, that wasn't about her. See, that's what's crazy. She passed away a month before, and then it was the burglary. So it was the burglary because he retweeted the WTHR 13 reports burglary of our home, and then that was the YouTube thing. So I thought, I mean, it would have worked. That post would have worked for either or. So so anyways, that's an example. And then, like, for example, like here's a couple of reporters that liked my tweet about the news article or whatever for when we got broken into. And so like this guy carbon copied me, or, you know, tagged me or whatever in this post, which was basically Alexis McAdams' post about our break-in. It was her. She posted like the article, the news article on Fox 59. He's the reporter that interviewed us first. And anyways, this guy, Indy Christian, whoever he is, I think he's a, what's that? Neil? He's Neil, yeah. Yeah, it says Neil there. He's, I guess, a reporter in Indianapolis or something. And so he retweeted that and then tagged me and a couple other people in it. So there's your examples. And then Brother Ted Alexander retweeted the news report again as well, and other people as well. So this is examples of when people do that. Okay, what you get a notification. Yes, sir. Here's what it does. When I go home, say, it starts to get red when it gets below 10. See the number down there, 12? Now all of that turns red after, and so it says, oh, I typed 90 characters too many, minus 90 remaining. So, and it also grays this out, or fades it out, so you can't click tweet. So it won't let you click, it won't let you actually tweet. What's that? That's what Twitter is what's that? So I'm just going to blah, 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 blah. What? It can be a very useful tool. Twitter can be a useful tool. I find it useful just to drive traffic to other places. And that's probably, I would say, the primary use that most people use it for. Yes, sir. It gives you people that it suggests that you follow. Only if you follow, because like what it'll do is it'll like, okay, I'm interested in this kind of stuff, and whatever. So it will use that like choice that you made to tell you who you should follow. And so it'll give you a bunch of people that it suggests that you follow. Like over here, it says who to follow, and you'll have stuff that'll pop up here all the time. That'll say who to follow. You know, follow this guy or follow this guy or follow this guy. Like in this guy, it'll say follow this guy because he's followed by Senator Ted Cruz. So like maybe someday I'll pop up over there on somebody's page and it'll say follow this guy because he's followed by Mike Pence or whatever. Yes, you can also set up. That's the other thing. Yeah. Let me go to somebody here. What's that? Knee crack? Ouch. Yep. So here's Donald J. Trump. So I go to his page here. There he is waving at the inauguration, I think, right? Or maybe parade. He's saying, hey, how's the coronation? He wasn't crowned king, all right? Contrary to some people's beliefs. What's that? Where? Okay, there you go. Right. Oh yeah, down there. Never forget. I was looking up here. It's down here on the trim. Yeah, there's an example of a hashtag there. I still don't want to click on that because you never know what. But I will. I'll show you an example of what happens. So, so for him, on following here, I'm following him, and then user actions. I can mute him, block him, report. I can turn off retweets, turn off mobile notifications. I've got mobile notifications on, so whenever he tweets something, because he says stuff a lot. Now, during the campaign trail, I turned it off because I was like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it because there was it just over all the time. So now what's that? No, he's following 41. He's got 22.7 million followers. He's not following me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be on this page right now. No, I'm just kidding. What's that? Tell Don to follow me. Yeah, and then watch this video. So anyways, so I've got him on notifications. So whenever I look at my watch and I say, oh, the president said blah, 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 it's because I actually get the notification on my wrist when he says something. So like just a little while ago when he said Christians in the Middle East have been executed in large numbers, blah, blah, blah. You know, I read it to you guys. It taps me on the wrist and says, hey, somebody's talking to you. And I'm like, what is it? Like, oh, it's the president. You know, anyways, he tweeted something. What's that? He's just saying, he said, Christians in the Middle East have been executed in large numbers. We cannot allow this horror to continue. He's just making a statement. And people like seeing the statements he makes. I mean, of course, I think it's kind of cool that the president can make a statement and like anybody in the world can get it right then. Yes, that's the point. So now that can be dangerous, but so far I think he's doing okay since he's become president. But I like what he said this morning. He said somebody with aptitude and conviction should buy the fake news and failing New York Times and either run it correctly or let it fold with dignity. I was like, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. So anyways, I don't want to get too far into all that, but he also has a presidential one. Like, see, he posts his own tweets on this page. This is real Donald Trump. Is his Twitter handle. It's at real Donald Trump. And he tweets a lot of stuff on that Twitter handle. His president, like POTUS Twitter handle. If you go to Twitter and you just search POTUS, like this, POTUS. It says Donald Trump, POTUS, at POTUS. So this is his POTUS one, and notice that he posted something 3 hours ago. But what it was a retweet of his own post. So I think this account's probably handled by his press secretary or somebody. somebody that he's got running it. So, and that makes sense, yeah. And then he's got his own account that he runs himself. I'm just surprised that he'd have time to do all that, but it's helpful to kind of know where his mind is. Right. It depends on how quickly it's caught. Because if somebody sees, like for the people that get notification of it, so like if I have the notification on my phone or on my watch or on my, whichever, if it's on my screen on my phone and he deletes it, well, it won't delete from my phone, from the notification on my phone. If I screenshot it and then repost it, it's out there. The only way it goes away is if I delete it. So when he does that, now he doesn't have a way to delete it off my notifications. But he could wipe my post. Yeah, he could have somebody, you know, I don't know. That's a tricky thing. He could wipe the post, but then I could sue him for wiping my post. But right, it'd be an ugly little situation. But I wouldn't do that anyways. But if there was something that he posted and then he was like, "Oops, not a good idea," he can just delete it. And as long as nobody saved the notification, it's gone. But if somebody saved the notification, like a lot of times what happens, like I think somebody was picking on his son and they posted it, but then it was up for a couple hours though, and then they deleted it. Well, while it was up, somebody screenshotted it or got a screenshot of it, and now it's all over the place, even though they deleted it. Probably do. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they probably do, and they probably have like some auto screenshots that are happening every time he posts something, just to make sure that they catch him if they can, you know. But I think that's kind of messed up, anyways. But I was going to show you what happens when you click on this. So I clicked on the hashtag never forget, and the first thing that popped up was the Guardian, mercenary lobbyist, Trump chair, Paul, blah blah blah. Well, this is so. Basically, I don't know why that popped up. I think that's an ad, top news or whatever. But so it'll show you all these things that say never forget. This is Auschwitz. Somebody said never forget about Auschwitz. Somebody said, never forget about this basketball game, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, so this is your most common never forget post, you know, is that. Again, what's that? 9/11, yeah. Of course, I'm careful about clicking on those. I don't want to go too much further because you never know what you're going to find when you click on a tag or a hashtag like that. Because sometimes when you click on a hashtag, okay, I could post anything in the world that I want to post, and I can hashtag it whatever, whether it's related or not. And so, you know, if I post a picture of my dog and then hashtag, you know, Donald Trump, then when somebody clicks on the hashtag for Donald Trump of another picture of him, they see my dog. So that's an example. Not that I would do that, but that's an example of, you know, you can have a picture of anything or a article of anything and hashtag it something that you know other people are going to look for, and now you basically got whatever it was that you know, whatever useless, meaningless thing that it was that you posted. Now millions of people are seeing it because they're looking up the hashtag on somebody else's post. So like when you get, so that's a way to get traffic if you're trying to get traffic. So like, you know, the president posts something that's got a hashtag that a lot of people are using, then you post something and you use the same hashtag, then somebody gets it. So like the MAGA hashtag, hashtag's the pound sign with a word after or something. So like I was like, what is this MAGA? What's everybody posting MAGA for? MAGA. And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, make America great again. That's what it is. So like Vice President was posting posting that, before the inauguration. I got like 5 or 6 posts from him, and I'm like, what is this? Why does he keep saying MAGA? And I clicked on it, and then there was a picture of something that said "Make America Great Again," and then it was hashtag MAGA. I was like, oh, that's what it is. I could see why they would do that, because hashtags take up your post space, and if you're typing out "Make America Great Again," that's a whole bunch to type out. If you just abbreviate it with a hashtag, most people now, if they click on the hashtag, it'll take them to what it means. Well, not really take it to what it means, but it'll take it to all the posts that other people have tagged that or hashtagged it. So the downside is somebody thinks about that and they don't like the president, or they don't like, and so they'll post stuff that are distasteful or or against him or something like that, and then they'll hashtag it MAGA, and then you click on it, and I would not be surprised if we went to the hashtag MAGA, we'd find probably stuff for and against our president. So that's an example of how you can use hashtags in a good way or a bad way. So what else about Twitter? Just real quick here, we're way over time, so we're gonna try to cut this short. But what's that? Twitter's not super complicated. There's a few things I'm probably missing. People post pictures on Twitter a lot of times, and and what it'll do is it'll show the picture on there. Sometimes it'll just put a link to the picture, and then you click on the link and it'll take you there. Right. Yeah, photos go. That's the other thing with like Instagram too. I mean, you can delete your Instagram photos, but and as much as people like to think Snapchat's private, it's not. It's not. Initially that's what people were using it for, to send like private photos to people that they don't want other people to see. The problem is somebody runs the server, and so you're sending a private photo. Say you wrote a letter to somebody and you just wanted to send them a screenshot photo of it or whatever, and so you take a picture, you send it, you give them 10 seconds to look at it, and they can screenshot it, but it was on, and it's still on the server that you sent it through. And so whoever's running Snapchat server can have access to look at those photos, to look at those things. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And there's government systems that can search and find, like they can do keyword searches and find anything on the internet that has those keywords in it, and whether it's public, private, or whatever, which is kind of a invasion of privacy when you've got something set as private, or and they can look stuff up on your email, and there's actually programs that will they can activate the camera on your computer without you knowing it. Now I'm not a super paranoid person, but I do have a sticker over my camera just because I leave my computer open oftentimes at home. And I mean, most of the time if somebody were to activate the camera on my computer, guess what they'd see? The wall. That's it. Not all of them do, but a lot of them do. That's the other thing too. They can activate the camera on your phone without you knowing it. But I would say if they're doing that, it's because they want to know something about you. Generally speaking, no, you don't. But there's always the strange option where you've got like somebody that's just being dumb at the NSA or CIA, and they're like, I want to go find a random person to just find out what they're doing, and you just might happen to be the random person that they're looking through your phone on your. No. No. Yeah. Was that? I don't think we'll talk about Twitter next week. We'll probably talk about Instagram next week. So I'm not worried about Vine. There's no reason to talk about it if it's going to die. Vine is a social media site where they do short videos, and they're shutting it down. So there's really no reason to cover it, I don't think, except just to say what it is, and I already did. So, but a lot of people have used Vine to like make a lot of money. There's like people they call Vine stars. There's Vine families, stuff like that. They out of these little 10-second videos, and they get like millions and millions of followers. You know what? I'll just tack Vine onto the end of Twitter here. I don't know if I can get. Yeah, we'd be careful. Actually, here's what I'll do, just so that we're careful here. So we'll do this. Check that out. So now I can do my little thing here, sign in. I don't remember my sign in info though. Oh, sign in with Twitter. See, that's easy. Which guy? This guy here? He's already got an afro. I'm just kidding. All right, let me see if I can get this. Where's the people I'm following? How do you? I'm only following like one guy on Vine. It's that King guy. What's his name? What? No. Is it Matt King? Zach King. I thought that was on the computer. Like, what in the world? Okay. So here's an example here. Like he's like, hey, hold on a minute. Let me take the trash out. Just like threw it through his window. Okay, now that I'm on his particular Vine, I'll switch this so that I can see what I'm looking at here. He doesn't make that many, really. Oh, that's the thing. Vines do loops. So like if I stay there, it'll loop, doop, 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 doop. And look, this guy's got, this Vine has 2.9 million loops. A lot of people just sit there and watch it. Bloop, 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 bloop. So like here's the Pokemon thing. I've got the sound off right now. Yeah. So like she drops her papers. He's like, here, let me help you. Turns it into an ice cream cone. He's like, oh, here's how you catch a cab. This guy does commercials for companies now because he's gotten kind of famous doing this stuff. He's like, oh, brain freeze. See, so that's what Vine is. It was kind of cool for some things. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get rid of my trash. Yeah, it would be great, wouldn't it? Like, oh, got to decorate. He does these. It's kind of cool. He's like, oh, gonna fly. So there's your example of what Vine is. So when I think of Vine, I think of this guy, you know, and he does all these weird things. He just jumped in a waterbed. Oh, what did it? Oh. He uses a lot of camera tricks and stuff. He's like, oh, I think I'll get a watch. A lot of funny camera tricks he does, but drink from the drink. So that's the only guy I follow on Vine, and that's when I think of Vine, that's what I think of. So that's the thing is though, they're shutting Vine down. So so then the way to get the guy's stuff after this, we got to like quit here soon, but so like if I go to his profile here, yeah, we're way over time. So like, I don't see it here, but you just search them on Twitter, and their vines will show up on Twitter. So that's the way to find them. So he's on Twitter. So you'll go to Twitter, and up at the top on the search thing, you can search Zach King on Twitter, and he'll show up on there. But he does he did some videos. I think he did one for Best Buy, like a back to school video, and you know, he's done a few different. I think he did one for Capital One, but the back to school one, he was like, I don't remember exactly. Oh, it was like he had a lot of stuff like out and stuff, and he's like, I'll fix all this, and he like takes like a sheet and he flaps it out, and then everything's in place or something. Anyways, it's kind of like video magic, so to speak, but he had some pretty funny stuff. Like he had a glass of red juice, and he pours it out, and it's like Skittles on the table. But yeah. So anyways, that's what Vine is. I guess it was appropriate probably to mention Vine while we're talking about Twitter. But any quick questions, and we're gonna break. I know this morning is gonna be a little bit more relaxed because we're doing Q&A, but quick questions on Twitter or Vine, either one. Nay. All right. Let's pray. Father, we thank you, Lord, for this day. We thank you for the tools you give us, like Twitter, to be able to reach people. And Lord, as we consider the platform of Twitter, we pray that you'd help us to use it for your glory, that you'd give us the opportunity to reach many people with the gospel message. And Lord, we pray that we would be wise in doing so. We look forward to all that you're going to do. Pray your blessing on the service to come in Jesus' name.